Opened in 1960 by Bruton Smith and NASCAR driving legend Curtis Turner, Charlotte Motor Speedway was born with ambition, launching stock car racing into uncharted territory with the longest NASCAR race ever run, the World 600. But that dream nearly collapsed before it ever took off. Just 1 year later, the 1.5-mile oval was bankrupt, stalled by an unforgiving granite outcrop in the infield that sent construction costs soaring. Fast forward 65 years, and this isn't just a racetrack. This is the epicenter of stock car racing. More than 94,000 seats surround a facility that has rewritten NASCAR history time and time again. Charlotte lit up the night first. It redefined the fan experience with trackside condos, office towers, naming rights, and a year-round club atmosphere. It's the home track for most race teams, where setups are perfected, rivalries are born, and championships are built long before they're won. And tonight, under the lights, where speed meets pressure and mistakes are punished at 190 miles an hour, the stakes rise once again. Engines roar, the field tightens, and every lap matters. This is the PSRA Open ARCA Series All-Star Race, and it starts now on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer, joined in the broadcast booth by Zach Millett. How you doing, Zach?
Hey, Steve. How we doing, man?
Doing good. Getting ready to go all-star racing here tonight in Charlotte. Nice to see this series bringing the all-star race back to Charlotte. Man, I sure wish NASCAR would do just the same thing, but I digress. Let's get into the details this evening. Race details, that is. 15 laps for the Open. All-star race will come later. 70% fuel, unlimited tire sets, no fast repairs, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. With all that said, we'll get a little bit deeper into the format side of things. Here's your format. 15 laps. Caution laps will count. That will not be the case for the actual All-Star race, but the top 4 finishers, it appears, will advance on to the All-Star race. It was initially going to be just one. We had some drivers unable to make the actual All-Star race tonight, so the race admins opened things up to allow more drivers into the feature, if you will. Feature race, the All-Star race itself, 50 laps. Caution laps will not count. With that said, bottom 2 drivers will be dropped from the race after laps 20 and 35. I think we're going to trigger a caution for both of those. And the final segment will be a 10-lap run to the finish. This drivers' meeting and practice just about wrapped up here. Best time so far is Alan DeFries, a 28.836. Brandon Minnick with an 8:37 right there on his back bumper. Then it's Chris Klein, Frank Griffith, and Justin Johnson, 5th fast in the practice session. You're going to see some new names here at the front of the field as this is the Open. Not to be disparaging at all to these drivers in any way, shape, or form, but these are guys that were not eligible for the All-Star race itself, so they're going to fight their way in here tonight. Again, top 4 will advance on. So, Zach, again, I know you're not super familiar with these ARCA cars. I know you've turned some laps somewhat recently, albeit on a road course at Watkins Glen. But how do you get around Charlotte Motor Speedway? What is the best way, especially in this format that's really just going to turn out to be a sprint race?
Yeah, it really is just going to be a sprint here, Steve. I think you're not going to see any kind of saving. It's going to be full bore right from the start. I kind of like that high line in 1 and 2. It just gives you such a good run off the exit. And I don't know, that middle line in 3 and 4 is kind of where it's at, too. It's all about the exit here. If you can keep your speed, it'd be real hard to pass you.
All-Star Open qualifying underway. Matt Nicholson first to take to the Speedway. Minute session, 2 laps, whatever expires first. Zach, I would assume here, qualifying wise, your advice there for this sprint race probably going to be about the same in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm thinking so, Steve. You'll think you're going to see the high line in 1 and 2, but maybe kind of a late entry into 3 and 4 to the bottom. But looks like he's going to try to get a run off 4 here. Hopefully he can get in the wall there. Might scrub this lap.
Nicholson did get the wall, but I don't think he started the lap just yet. He'll cross start finish. Nicholson on the clock.
That off track lifted before he got to the line there.
Counted the lap, 29.29 for Frank Griffith. He's fastest so far. Matt Nicholson, still no time of record. So, yeah, definitely got in the fence there, Zach. That's going to likely invalidate that lap.
Unfortunately, most of the time that off track will last a little while. So hopefully it went kind of right before he got back to start that next lap.
29.113. Nicholson still puts it pole position for the time being. Frank Griffith takes it back, 29.089. Brandon Minnick with a 27, his first lap. Off turn 4, back to the dog leg. Goes from P6 to second, outside pole for Minnick for now, 29.025. Top time to beat, Aaron Longworth, 28.938 seconds. Alan DeFries just getting the racetrack now. See what kind of lap time Alan can lay down. Alan DeFries must have had an issue out there, never logged an official lap, so he's likely to start from the rear based on iRating. Now we go to Rodney Roberts, trying to knock off Aaron Longworth, 28.938 the time to beat. Oh, Roberts real loose and hangs on to it off turn number 2. Ran at 29.286, puts him 7th quick, but that's going to be all she wrote for Rodney Roberts. Chris Klein now, 195, P6 his first lap, and he's going to be real loose off of 2 as well. He'll come all the way around, locks it down, and just kisses the inside wall. So with just over a minute left in this session, that will likely do it for qualifying. Seems that everybody that's going to take a lap has done so. Now I see David Bradford and Bobby Hamilton Jr. in this open session. I believe they were already qualified for the open, so not sure the scenario there. So if you see them in the starting grid, I don't believe they'll be running the open, so we'll get to that later on. With that, we're going to take a very short break. We're going to be back with our starting grid after this. Stay with us.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 28.938 seconds, it's the number 94 of Aaron Longworth. Starting outside pole from Lone Star Racing, a whole 86 thousandths off the pole. Brandon Minnick in the number 81. Row number 2, it'll be Justin Johnson and Frank Griffith. Row 3, Matt Nicholson and Chris Klein. Row number 4, Mark Truxell and Rodney Roberts. Row 5 belongs to Jeremiah Holt and Ken Couch. Row number 6, Terry Wilson and A.J. Rogers. And unfortunately, I think that's all we got. Jason Steptoe, maybe shotgun on the field. That shows David Bradford, Bobby Hamilton Jr. as well. I don't believe they'll be starting tonight's race, but nevertheless. It's your starting grid for the All-Star Open.
Yeah, this is kind of sweet, Steve. I think we're going to get to have driver picks multiple times tonight. What are you thinking?
You took the thoughts right out of my brain. Oh, Lordy, who do we pick? I'm going to go with Brandon Minnick on this one, at least to win the Open. But we're going to go, do you want to pick your top 4? Minnick to win, so that's 1. And then I'll go Mark Truxell, A.J. Rogers, Justin Johnson. And you can pick the same ones because we don't have that huge of a field.
I'm not going to lie.
Except for the winner.
That was my exact pick.
Get out of my brain.
Drivers for, yeah, I know. I had them in my head when I asked you, and I can't believe you said the same exact drivers. Well, darn, that's not fun.
Well, pick your winner. Go that route.
I think I got to go Brandon Minnick. I think when it comes to full send, I think he knows how to do it. I think he's going to get that thing around.
I just took Brandon Minnick. You can't pick him.
Oh, this isn't fair.
This is payback for all the races I let you pick first.
This is true. This is true. I think I had like 4 or 5 in a row there. So, yeah, this is good. Let's go Rodney Roberts.
Rodney Roberts to win it. Got it.
I like it. I like it.
Format again, All-Star Open, which we're about to get underway. 15 laps. Caution laps will count if we get any. The top 4 will advance on to the All-Star race. And that's it. That's all we're going to talk about. Again, I really do like this, Zach. They've got this set up, kind of old school format. The Open, not as large as we would typically see, but the All-Star race itself, going to be nice and tidy. A little small field, which will be a good thing because it puts the best of the best out there as the pace car gets ready to head to pit road. Aaron Longworth, Brandon Minnick on the front row as we get set to get underway. Barney with their green in hand, and there it flies. Green flag in the air from Charlotte. Oh, almost contact with Longworth and Minnick down into turn number 3. They're still side by side. Longworth will take the advantage through turns 4. And
these guys know how important that track position is.
They don't have any time to waste, Zach. It's 14 to go already. They got to get after it.
Brandon Minnick hanging tight on this high side. I think he's going to get the runoff too here.
Real loose. Aaron Longworth off turn number 2. Minnick had the position anyway, but Longworth going to free fall to the back of the pack. Almost dead last with Terry Wilson now in tow. Minnick takes over the top spot. Second place, Rodney Roberts. Justin Johnson to third, looking for second. Crosses over, does the 11.
Oh, man, I did that in front of Justin Johnson one time at Charlotte. Didn't turn out good for me. Let's see what Roberts can do here.
Roberts around the outside. Justin Johnson slides up the track in behind, in trouble off turn number 2. Chris Klein and Matt Nicholson, do they save it? Nicholson gets away with it okay, but Chris Klein, not so much. He gets the wall a couple of times. His race likely done for with 13 laps to go. Back to the point here. Battle for the race lead. Roberts looks to the outside of Brandon Minnick. Roberts on rails, it seems. He's got a fast hot rod underneath him right now as he's trying to go around the long way down the back straightaway.
I'm telling you, that high side, look at the run. He clears him before he even gets to 3.
Again, this is an open setup series, guys, so this has a lot to do with it. Short run speed, a lot of those guys likely took that into consideration tonight, especially those that had to use the open to get into the main race. Uh-oh, trouble is on the Speedway. Nicholson involved in another one, and I can't see who's there in behind him. The 08 to Ken Couch. So first yellow, it did not take long. Again, this is what we see at the end of these normal every week races. You get into 10 to 15 laps to go, and everybody's going 10 tenths, pushing as hard as they can to be one of those top 4 drivers. And, well, somebody ran out of real estate. Ken Couch, Matt Nicholson coming together. Obviously, Chris Klein involved in that as well earlier, just a couple of laps prior. Let's see what happened here to these two. 3 wide they were, and it gets into the 73 machine. That was Jeremiah Holt. Nicholson just, I got to go, man. I got to go. They make some contact. They wash up the racetrack, and honestly, Jeremiah Holt really gets away with this without any major issues at all. I don't know, Zach. I think if Nicholson checked up just a hair there, he would have avoided some contact. But hindsight always being 20/20, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, lifting at any time in a 15-lap race is pretty tough.
Now, going back to the incident with Chris Klein that did not bring out a caution. Those two just came together on the exit of turn 2. Nicholson, real quick with the hands, able to straighten it back out. Chris Klein, not so much.
Yeah, Chris Klein taking an alternate route to the Roval tonight. That's a hard hit.
Chicane is closed, folks. The chicane is closed. It appears Frank Griffith had an issue initially on the start, too, also involving Chris Klein. There was some contact there. This looks like off turn number 4. There's the tunnel. Yeah, that's turn 4.
Boy, that's a hard hit there on the inside. Yeah, look at that front left there, Steve. That thing's toasted. Almost looked like he was a little sideways before Klein got into him there.
We're backing up a little further here. You know how I hate the rewind, but we're going to do it anyway. And yeah, you're right, Zach. Looks like the rear end of that 54 is starting to come around before he even gets there. Yeah, he's stepping out just a touch.
Yeah, you could see he got real aggressive on the gas there, and that thing just didn't stick for him. And Chris Klein's just right there. There's really nothing he can do. You can see him kind of check up a little bit, but
you know what, Zach? I don't know if he actually got into him.
It might have been close. If he missed him, that was a heck of a job by Chris.
Well, we'll watch it this way. We'll go to the roof cam of Chris Klein at quarter speed.
A little bit of rear grief there, which will make that 54 car just a tad bit looser, but
it's hard to say.
Just
Zach.
a little, I think.
I don't know. If it was, it was literally the equivalent of me pushing my index finger out the window.
Yeah, I think that 54 was going to go around either way.
So just about halfway here in the All-Star Open. Again, a 15-lap race to add a couple of drivers. Well, we'll say 4 drivers to the All-Star race itself. Lights on the pace car have gone out, so we're ready to get things back underway. Top 4 right now, Rodney Roberts, Brandon Minnick, Justin Johnson, Alan DeFries. If the race were to end now, I know everybody hates that terminology, but if it were, those would be your drivers who would advance on into the All-Star race.
I'll tell you, the one person you want to be right here on the restart is that leader. He's going to get the restart, and it's going to be absolutely crucial to get the jump on these 2 Lone Star cars because they're going to be working together to try to get up there.
With all that said, though, Zach, I mean, how aggressive do you really want to be? If you're the race leader, you've got a cushion of 3 positions behind you. You don't need to win the Open to move on. You can finish 4th and be just fine.
As soon as you start to settle, though, that's where you get hung down on the bottom, and next thing you know, you look up, crossing the checkered flag, and you're 5th.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Coming to green, it'll be lap 8 going up on the board. 8 laps to go. 7 laps to go.
Great start by Rodney Roberts there. He did exactly what he had to do.
Trouble.
Oh, we're going to wreck into one.
Caution, caution, caution.
Aaron Longworth
All
and
on you,
Matt
man.
Nicholson,
All on
also
you.
the
You make the call
55 of Jason Steptoe involved. Caution on the Speedway again. This may even set us up for a very short run to the finish. Maybe a green-white checker. I don't think we'll get quite to that point. We'll watch it again here in real time.
And you hate to see this for the 94 car. You know, it was such a tough start being in the lead, back to the rear of the pack, and then this happens. It's awful.
Oh, Holt gets into the right rear of Aaron Longworth, and then Nicholson nowhere to go as the 94 swaps up the racetrack. Steptoe, Longworth, and Nicholson with severe damage, mechanical black flags for all three drivers. That's a tough one.
I tell you one thing I saw during that, Steve, was that last caution we had where Chris Klein had all that damage sliding down in the infield. He got that car going again. He didn't go a lap down. He stayed out on the track, and he passed all these cars on this wreck. So he's back in the hunt.
Might just be a matter of survival for Chris Klein. You don't need to be the fastest guy out there in some cases. I know we're at Charlotte, we're not at Talladega or Daytona, but sometimes survival is all you need to do.
Yeah, this could happen again the next restart, and he could get in that transfer position.
So watching this from the tower shot here, I want to rewind a little further. Watch Aaron Longworth in the 73. I'm sorry, Jeremiah Holt in the 73. I don't know if the 55 checked up. That's Jason Steptoe. And then Holt jumps to the inside to avoid contact. Yeah, look what happened there, because then he gets into Longworth here. Certainly not intentional. I think he was trying to avoid clipping the 55, but in turn gets into Longworth.
Yeah, I just went a little too low there and just barely got the right rear of that Taco Bell.
Terry Wilson there with the Dale Earnhardt paint scheme. You see the Intimidator himself ablaze into the side of that race car with 25 years to the day, coming up on the 18th here of Dale Earnhardt's death at Daytona. Well, we'll try it again. Didn't think we'd have so much carnage with only 14 cars in the open. Maybe even 13, because I don't think Rogers took the green. No, he did not. So Bradford, Hamilton Jr., A.J. Rogers, none of them took the green flag here tonight. Should have had them join as spectators, but nevertheless, now you know.
Tell you, if I'm the last two cars there, I probably would have came in and just taken right sides just for the heck of it.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Leave the fuel out of it. You know, don't put any fuel in it. Leave it nice and loose. Put some new rubber on the right side and loosen it up for this little sprint.
But at the same hand, Zach, I mean, as far as fuel goes, maybe you want to add fuel to get some weight in the rear of the car. That'll really loosen it up more than anything, because you're lowering that rear spoiler a touch.
Yeah, I definitely want the rubber. Some kind of an advantage.
You lower the rear spoiler, put some weight behind you, which is going to cause that rear end to want to come around a little bit more. Loose is fast if you can hang on to it. But at the same time, I mean, we're coming to lap 12 for the restart. Does it take more than a lap for these tires to even be effective, Zach? Do they really need to build temperature and pressure? I mean, obviously, these guys can play with all that being an open setup series.
Yeah, I guess we're going to find out here. And I would imagine Chris Klein took some tires here. Hopefully he got his car fixed as much as he could.
Yeah, Klein was in the pits there for about 1 minute and 17 seconds. Certainly had time to bolt on tires, but what's more important? Get that body panel straight as possible. Looks like he's got it cleaned up pretty good.
Well, here's a sprint.
Green.
Good jump for Rodney Roberts. Side-by-side battle for second as Justin Johnson gets to the inside of Brandon Minnick. 3 laps to go. I don't know, Zach, do you think those LSR guys there, second and third, just going to kind of block everybody to make sure they move on?
Well, I was thinking that, but I don't know. We'll see. It's not a bad idea.
Chris Klein in the fence again.
Yeah, that thing's toasted this time.
Chris Klein will come to pit road with some mechanical repairs to be done. 2 laps to go here from Charlotte in the All-Star Open. Oh, Minnick hard to the wall. Oh, and he clips Mark Truxell. Alan DeFries might get a piece. Caution on the Speedway again. Now, I want to reiterate, it said at the beginning of this race, we talked about green-white checkered finishes. I'm double-checking to be certain. Yes, we do have those available to us. So, our All-Star Open, which was scheduled for 15 laps, will now go to overtime.
Bring it on, baby. Let's keep them going.
Also have a black flag for Chris Klein. Kind of irrelevant right now, is likely to do with his pit entry here. He's going to be out of this race nonetheless, unless something extremely chaotic unfolds.
Well, it's been a lot of that, that's for sure. I mean, we're looking at the P4 car without a front end.
May open an opportunity here for Terry Wilson, but how badly damaged is Brandon Minnick? We'll see if we can get a better look at it.
Man, that car was sideways in 2.
It's got some rear end damage, and that spoiler is up a lot higher than you want it to be, but I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to come down pit road here and just throw some platinum gravy on that baby and get it solved.
Fixes everything, doesn't it?
Drew Blaze would be proud of that one right there. Even with that damage, though, I mean, Minnick's going to be pretty fast on this restart. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
looks like he's going to come down and see what he can do.
So Minnick's going to get some repairs. I'd be willing to bet he'll take tires, and really to his benefit here, Mark Truxell's going to come down too, so he's got a chance, depending on how long the repairs take. He could just come out there in the same position. I wouldn't put money on him winning this thing, but he's only got to get to 4th.
I was trying to tell if that thing's tracking straight. That left front's poking out so far, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's cambered out quite a bit there. The top of the tire leaning outward quite a bit.
I like this pit lane camera because you can see as the damage is being fixed, you can see the fenders popping out, the wheels getting kind of more aligned, if you will.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned about suspension at this point, especially if that thing is cambered out the way it is. Now, those of you that don't know, camber would be, just for an example, positive camber would be the top of the tire pointing outward from left to right from this particular angle. Negative camber would be the top of the tire pointing in. Toe would be the front-facing portion of the tire pointing in for negative toe. Positive toe would be the opposite direction, very similar to positive and negative camber. Caster, lots of different conversation. It's, how do I explain caster? Basically, the suspension assembly from its top mounting point down would be leaned forward. The bottom portion of the suspension assembly pushing forward.
Now, if you turn all that upside down and look at it with your head sideways, that's kind of what Minnick is working with here.
Yeah, right.
But he seems to be kind of happy with what he got done there. I mean, he didn't wait the full amount of time for that pace car to get to the mount of pit road for him to come back out, so he must be relatively happy.
Car doesn't look bad, Zach. I think he'll be okay. I mean, with just this amount of laps left, he's got to pick up, what is he, 6th? He's got to pick up 2 spots.
Yeah.
Truxell stayed behind him. He's got to get Terry Wilson and Jeremiah Holt. Zach, as you mentioned, missing the front end. I think it's almost looking like a modified at this point.
That is the coolest running car in this field.
Yeah. Probably running about 165 degrees.
Now, Terry Wilson's car looks pretty clean, especially with the Intimidator on there like that. But if he just sends it here, he could make this transfer, Steve.
Really could.
What kind of aggression are we going to see? Because you know he wants it. I mean,
Terry Wilson,
that would be a pretty cool deal.
I don't know. I mean, he's... Listen, let's be serious. He's not an all-star driver as a rule. Nobody in this field is. This is the Open. There's a reason they have to run this race. But I think Terry is also one of those drivers out there that he's not intentionally going to try and cause a problem. I don't think he's going to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. But if he manages to get into that top 4, I'm sure he's going to take it with a smile.
Heck yeah.
Pace car heads to pit lane, the hard left down to the Charlotte Motor Speedway pit lane. It's Barney with the green flag in hand, ready to get things
Green
back
flag.
underway. First attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Lap 17 will go up on the board.
Rodney Roberts doing exactly what he has to do, just get away from everybody.
Alan DeFries up into the 3rd spot. Jeremiah Holt hanging on to 4th. Last transfer position, Terry Wilson 5th. Those backmarker
bit of
4
a
cars just did not get going.
No, they didn't, and they're going to need every little bit. Holt is just going to hope and pray that he keeps that gap.
Off turn number 4, looking for the white flag here. Barney's waving it. 1 to go.
I think there's too much space there. I think Holt's going to hang on here with all that extra cold air.
Justin Johnson trying to get the 2nd spot just for a little bit of bragging rights on Alan DeFries. DeFries up the racetrack. Off turn number 2 will have the run down the back straightaway. Justin will tuck back in behind, likely not to mount another charge before they cross start finish again. And start finish line. Rodney Roberts will win the Open. DeFries will move on from P2. Justin Johnson, Jeremiah Holt will move up into the All-Star race. Those on the outside looking in will be Brandon Minnick, Terry Wilson, Mark Truxell, and the remainder of the field you see on the left-hand side of your screen. Frank Griffith didn't even complete a solid lap. Took the green flag, that was all. Bradford, Hamilton, and Rogers did not start the race as they're here just for admin purposes. Well, that was fun.
Good start. That's a good start.
Absolutely a good start. So Rodney Roberts picking up the win here in the Open. We're going to pull Rodney up into the broadcast booth right now. No break, no nothing. We'll talk to the driver of the number 11 Toyota Camry. Rodney, it's Steve Zach Millett with Track Limits. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Rodney, congratulations, man. Surprisingly, a hectic race here tonight in this only 15-lap All-Star Open, but you pick up the race win, and the top 4 move on to the All-Star race. What's the game plan? What changes moving into the All-Star race? Of course, 50 laps, the distance in this All-Star race. A couple of drivers are going to be dropped after a certain period of the time. What changes setup-wise do you need to make, if any, moving into the All-Star race, being 15 laps to 50 laps?
I really don't think there's no change to this set. It's pretty fast. I think I started 8 in open and pretty much got the first in 2 laps, and it drove pretty good in those 15 laps, but be a little bit more cautious in the All-Star race now, and hopefully I'm there at the end.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Obviously, a longer race, a little bit more strategic to be concerned with. Are tires going to be a concern? Is fuel going to be a concern at all in the All-Star race?
I honestly didn't even look at fuel, honestly, but tires, yeah, they're going to be a little bit.
Well, Rodney, if you lose this All-Star race based on fuel mileage, I'm going to be very disappointed in you.
I want to try not to. That's the first thing I want to do whenever I get in there and look at it, but hopefully we're going to be able to put on a show for y'all tonight, and hopefully there ain't too many wrecks, or it's just close action racing.
Well, with all that said, I want to talk to you about the restarts. I know we actually had a bunch of them already here in this 15-lap All-Star Open. You seem to really fire right out of the gate very quickly on the restarts. Was there something in the setup that you had planned on to get you a good restart when those things were ready to get rolling, or was it just good luck and good timing on the right foot?
It was just good luck, good time, and can't really dive down in my secrets like that just yet.
All right, Rodney. Well, a job well done. Get yourself into the All-Star race. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
My team, y'all, David, putting on the league and everything else. Y'all do a heck of a show broadcasting for us and taking y'all's time, and really do appreciate y'all and everyone here.
All right, Rodney. Well, congratulations again, moving yourself into the All-Star race here tonight. Good luck in the main event.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
2. Rodney Roberts, All-Star Open winner. Moving on as well will be Alan DeFries, Justin Johnson, and Jeremiah Holt. They will get their start in the All-Star race. We'll see if they can contend for an All-Star win. All-Star race itself coming up very shortly here. We're working on the other session here, so don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside, get our break out of the way, and we will be back with the All-Star race after this. Stay with us. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with Zach Millett in the broadcast booth here with Track Limits. Qualifying underway for the All-Star Race. Good on track side here. Alan DeFries on the Speedway. Alan DeFries advancing into the All-Star Race from the open. Alan DeFries on the clock. So, Zach, what really changes here in the open, from the open to the All-Star race? 15 laps for the open, 50 laps here for the All-Star race. But again, there are planned breaks. I think it was lap 20 and lap 35. So you go 20 laps, a little further than the open was scheduled for, and then a break after another 15 laps. We heard Rodney Roberts talking about the setup and how it really doesn't change. Is that kind of a good way to look at things? Is that the best plan of action?
Yeah, I think he's got a point. It really doesn't change. It's just more of the same thing over and over again, just kind of little sprints. So if I was him, I'd just do exactly what I did before, and he's got no chance.
DeFries with a 29.25, then he goes to 29.113. AJ Rogers fastest at the present on his first lap. He's pole position at the moment, 29.058 for the number one machine. Rogers, our champion last season. Bobby Hamilton Jr. second quick. Alan DeFries third. And Bobby Jr. goes P1 on his second lap, 28.74. Very fast for the number 25. Josh Ingram on the Speedway, 8th quick on his first lap, 29.304. Zach, good to see some of these guys working on some all-star paint schemes. It's different colors than we typically see from some of these drivers.
Yeah, you always look forward to the all-star races because of the paint schemes. It's kind of my favorite part of the whole darn thing.
Ingram across the line, lap 2 in the books, P5, 29.037. David Bradford now in the number 13 Crown Apple, shaking the race car, trying to build some heat into those tires. Top time to beat, 28.742. Bradford across the line, 9th quick, 29.56. Don't panic, folks. That's pretty decent. Bradford to finish up lap number 2. 4th quick, 28.916. Corey Bigley. First lap, I think, was invalidated, Zach. See if lap 2 yields a better result. Oh, so close. 28.810. Missed it by 67 thousandths of a second. Corey Bigley outside pole for the time being. And it looks like that's going to do it for just about everybody with 40 seconds left in the session. Terry Wilson, Ken Couch showing at the back of the field. And Zach, I don't think Ken Couch made the All-Star race particularly.
No, I was thinking the same thing about Terry. I wasn't sure if we had just 12 cars.
Those two drivers should have joined the session as a spectator only, so they don't show up in the running order. But nonetheless, if you see Terry Wilson and Ken Couch, they should not have been in the session. Brandon Minnick in the chat says, I was going for the win. Second means nothing to me in the open. Had 9 minutes of repairs. Oh, man. Minnick, you could have done everything you could have. maybe that extra 10 seconds would have been enough to get you into the All-Star race with a brand new race car. That's too bad.
Man.
Well, with that, it's time for the All-Star race. Let's take a look at it. Here, our All-Star race. Starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 28.742 seconds. It's Bobby Hamilton Jr. Outside pole from Stinger Motorsports. Missed it by 67 thousandths. It's Corey Bigley. Row number 2, it'll be AJ Rogers and Drew Blaze. Row 3, Rodney Roberts and David Bradford. Row 4, Colt Ansley and Josh Ingram. Row number 5 belongs to Jeremiah Holt and Alan DeFries. Row number 6 will be Justin Johnson and Keenan Kimber. Further down the line, for whatever reason I can't cycle through it, it'll be, well, supposedly, Ken Couch and Terry Wilson. I don't think they're going to take the green here. I think they jumped in to watch the session, but they will show up in the timing tower. Brandon Minnick says again, I'll be ready for next week. Speaking of next week, it'll be at the Texas Motor Speedway for 100 laps. No Limits, Texas. That'll be a fun one.
That's a home race for those LSR boys, too.
Oh, yeah. So we'll take a look at the format again. 50 laps the distance here tonight. Caution laps will not count. A little different from the Open where the caution laps counted. Bottom 2 drivers will be dropped from the race after laps 20 and 35. I believe David Bradford will be calling for the caution flag at those instances. That will set us up for a final segment of 10 laps to crown an all-star champion. Brandon Minnick says, don't pick me to win. Got it. Check. Hey, Millen.
We really we both tried to pick him.
Millen, are you here next week?
I'd have to check. I don't think I am.
That's right. I kind of get crossed up. So we'll have Chris Goins. I'll have Chris Goins pick you, Brandon.
There you go.
Field off turn number 4, getting ready for the green flag. Pace car is in.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. And the All-Star race is green. Bobby with a good jump down into turn number 1. A car length and a half back to AJ Rogers and Corey Bigley. Oh, real loose off turn number 2. Bobby hangs on to the lead, though. Terry Wilson in the chat. I did not mean to enter the race. It's all good, Terry. We love you anyway. Bobby Jr. with the race lead. AJ Rogers second. Corey Bigley third. Rodney Roberts from the win in the Open. He runs fourth. Now getting pressure from Drew Blaze to the outside.
Man, you can see how tight it gets off 4 there.
Roberts and Blaze still side by side. Colt Ansley now up the back bumper, a car length back from the 88 machine. Roberts will tuck back in line into the 6th position, down 1 from the start. Rogers hangs on to 3rd. Bigley now up to 2nd, putting a lot of pressure on Bobby Hamilton Jr. for the race lead. Just a few feet, maybe a yard and a half back to the 58 machine. Still a heavy battle here for the 3rd spot.
And Drew Blaze just ripping the fence up there. 1 and 2 just made that pass for 3rd look real easy.
Drew Blaze with a heavy dirt background. Obviously very fast here on the asphalt tracks as well, but trying to get as close to that wall as possible. We heard Jeff Gordon talking about Kyle Larson and how close he likes to run that wall at certain racetracks. Can you come down just a touch? Maybe keep it more than an inch off the safer barrier? Not really the case here with Drew Blaze. He's going to run the high side when he can. Find a lot of grip up there as he runs top side again into turns 3 and 4. We got Aaron Longworth in the chat, says, let's go Rodney and Keenan Kimber. Chris Fahey in the chat, number 19 for a while. But here cheering on the remaining LSR guys. Chris Fahey, of course, the mom of Mike Fahey. Mike Fahey, I believe, is headed out on deployment again in the armed services. Big thank you to Mike Fahey for doing what he does. Mike Fahey, a relative neighbor to myself and Zach Millett. I'm in Rochester, Millett up in Clayton, New York. Fahey from, I believe, Ilion, New York. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Ilion, New York, the home of Remington Arms, or the former home of Remington Arms. I gotta tell you though, Zach, Rodney Roberts has got a hot rod tonight. He's up to second now if he can get this pass completed on Corey Bigley.
Yeah, he is flying. He's making the most of this.
Bobby Jr. continues to lead. Rodney settles back behind now, the 58 of Corey Bigley. Fourth place, Drew Blaze. Fifth, Colt Hansley.
Man, big time moment there for Drew Blaze coming up forward. It's just so scary when you get it hung out just a little too far and tap that wall.
We got Dead Set Waterfowler 756. Let's go 86. He deserves a win for sure. It's the funny thing about deserving something, especially in racing. You still have to go out there and earn it. Colt Ansley running in the 4th spot from 7th. Already making some waves here, working his way towards the front. 10 laps complete here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Little bit of pressure here up for the lead. Rodney Roberts is going to make a move here on Bobby.
Terry Wilson in the chat says David Bradford is on the move. We'll check on David right now in the 5th spot from P6. David does not make a whole lot of waves as he cuts his way through the field. It's slowly but surely. He'll be there when it matters. Now, Bobby Hamilton Jr. with a lot of pressure from Rodney Roberts off turn number 4. They're side by side coming to the line. Lap 13 about to go up on the board. Roberts will lead that lap, challenging for the race lead. I don't know where he got the setup from here tonight, but he's on rails. Bradford now up into the 4th spot. David's working his way forward, too, big time. Bobby got the lead back from Roberts, and Roberts just a couple inches off the back bumper out of turn number 4, and Colt Ansley trying to march his way forward as well. Man, how quickly these laps tick on by. 14 laps in. Again, we're going to drop a couple of drivers here after lap 20.
Boy, it's amazing how Bradford's making that bottom line roll. I mean, he's making more pace down there now late in the run than the guys running around the top.
Roberts, your race leader. Bradford now up to second. Ansley third. And Bobby Jr. has fallen back to P4 with Drew Blaze knocking on the back door. Blaze scrapes the wall off turn 4, but still carries the momentum through the start-finish line into the dog leg and will likely clear Bobby into 1, and he does. Blaze now up to the 4th spot. Hamilton now has to worry about Alan DeFries and Justin Johnson. Slow car down low. Think that might be Keenan Kimber. Indeed, it is. No. AJ Rogers? No, and Rogers is in pit lane. Not sure the situation there. I don't know, Zach. I don't know what happened to Bobby Hamilton Jr. I don't know if he just built a qualifying setup into the race car and just went with that. But, man, he has fallen like a brick in the middle of the lake. He's back to 7th spot. In behind, I believe, Justin Johnson for a big lead back to 8th.
I mean, that is a massive fall off. I mean, that could be either what we're going to be dealing with all night long with these tires and how they heat up too quick, or maybe he left the wrong setup in that thing. It's really easy to do.
I think many of us who run leagues, especially with open setup series, we've all done it at least once. Leave the cue set in the race car for the race. With, I don't know, Zach, with this race as short as some of these stages, quote unquote, are, I almost feel like you could get away with running the cue set and be okay, but maybe not the case here with Bobby. Might have been too aggressive with it. He's fallen back considerably from the drop of the green flag. Of course, he put the car in the pole position. Meanwhile, David Bradford has quickly marched his way towards the front, side by side with Rodney Roberts for the race lead here down the back straightaway with 27 laps to go. Next time by, we'll start lap 20, and I believe we'll drop 2 drivers, and it looks like that's going to be AJ Rogers and Josh Ingram, as they're already out of this race or 8 laps down. Rogers effectively shown as out of the race. Not sure what happened to AJ Rogers. I have no indication of a crash or anything of that nature. Ingram, though, 8 laps down already here with 26 to go.
Caution.
Caution on the Speedway. Planned caution.
Did you happen to get a look at your temps when you're on track right after that caution fell?
And we got Kerwin Marshall in the chat. Says God Racing. Kerwin Marshall from our 0X Strategy Series events here on Tuesday nights. Likely to be switching over to Monday nights. Still got to talk to Dustin about that. Oh, Good Racing. All right, well, Kerwin, I think you were right the first time, but we'll take it. So AJ Rogers and Josh Ingram will be removed from this session. Josh Ingram, the last car, still on the racetrack. Terry Wilson, Ken Couch, not officially part of the race. They joined probably just to watch the session. As they're members of this league, they should have joined as spectators. No big deal. But officially on track, AJ Rogers, who is already listed as out of the race. Josh Ingram, the next driver to be dropped here after this initial caution.
Well, that was an interesting start, Steve. I think these guys know what that car is going to do in that amount of laps. So we're going to see how these guys adjust to it and maybe take off some pace up right at the beginning and maybe even put some more in it.
So, Zach, with all that said here, we're under our first yellow, a planned yellow, so we could drop a couple of drivers. Pit lane is going to open up here. We forgot to do it in our initial pace laps here, but who's your pick for tonight's All-Star win? I'll give it to you again.
Oh, man, giving me that first pick. With a little more to work from here, too. I got to go with that Crown Royal machine. I like how Bradford runs the bottom, saves the tire, and then when it's time to go, it's like flipping the switch. Ready, set, go. He turns it on. He's there at the end. It's hard to vote against that guy.
I think it's pretty easy to vote against the guy right now just for the fact that I watched AJ Rogers get attacked by David Bradford and battle back and able to hold him off and now win the race off the pit lane. So I'm going to go with Rodney Roberts, the winner of the All-Star Open. It is not unheard of for the Open winner to go on and win the All-Star race. I believe it was Dale Jr. back in the day. We saw him do the same. I think Michael Waltrip may have done that as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just pulling it out of my rear end here, but I'm going with Rodney Roberts.
Yeah, you know, I think he managed that run probably better than anybody, obviously being in front. But, I mean, he looked fast the whole time. He was passing a bunch of cars. So, I mean, he wasn't laying back very much, and it seemed like he still had really good pace at the end there.
So first caution. This is where we drop a couple of drivers. Pit stops were completed. Rodney Roberts gets out there first. He'll be the race leader. We come back to green. David Bradford, Drew Blaze, Cole Ansley, Bobby Hamilton Jr., the top 5. Then it's Justin Johnson, Alan DeFries, Corey Bigley, Jeremiah Holt, Keenan Kimber, the top 10. A.J. Rogers out. Josh Ingram will be out. Again, ignore Wilson and Couch. He did not take the green flag. I gotta say it, Zach. These shorter sprint races, it's kind of where it's at.
It is. It really is. I love watching it. It's just pure action, start to finish, man. You gotta love it.
You get rid of the we're just riding portion of the race. We're just trying to save our stuff, take care of the race car, take care of the tires. We'll do this, we'll do that. But no, this is all-star racing. Short races, short laps. Everybody's in attack mode right off the get-go.
Yeah, thankfully opposite of what the 500 second half looked like today at half throttle and 5 or 6 seconds off pace for God knows how many laps. That was rough.
I don't know. I thought the 500 today wasn't half bad, but I'm not really a fan of who ended up winning the race, but it wasn't
bad. I like
bad.
that $100 in my wallet thanks to him. What a guy.
Of course. You're biased. You won some money off the deal.
Man.
Yeah. Base car is in, ready for the restart. Coming to the line here, lap 24, about to go up on the board. Green flag is in the air. Barney getting all excited there in the flag stand. Rodney Roberts with a monumental restart yet again.
I got 2 things I really want to focus on this run. Is Bradford going to stick to his plan or put more pace in it? And is Bobby Hamilton going to change up his pace, or if he's going to shoot out of a cannon like he did the first part?
Bobby Hamilton Jr. running back in the 5th position after putting the car on pole. He had short run pace. This whole race is a short run if you really think about it. But man, I don't know if there's anything he can do to that race car under that last pit stop, whether it's wedge, tire pressure, whatever you want to make the adjustments to. He's got to find a way to get back towards the front. But Rodney Roberts has been on rails all night long in the Open and now here in the All-Star race, carrying a 10.5 second lead over David Bradford. Drew Blaze runs 3rd. Ansley is 4th. And Bobby Jr. back into the 5th spot. Meanwhile, DJ Owens, maybe it's D. Jones, I don't know. Oh, Darren Jones. I bet you it's Darren Jones, also from Zero X. Says, hello, gentlemen. Thanks for checking in as well. We really do appreciate the patronage here. Track Limits Network on a Sunday night.
Heck yeah, man. A lot of familiar faces in the chat. That's awesome.
Close quarters battle between Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Cole Ansley. Ansley in the 86, Bobby in the 25 up the racetrack. Drew Blaze just inches off the wall, running the Larson line, and he got more than he bargained for off of 4. Gets the safer barrier, but maintains the spot. But for how long? Bobby looks to the outside, down into turn number 1. Drew Blaze goes down to the racetrack, the low side there in front of Cole Ansley. Now the middle lane off turn number 2. Bobby Jr. inches off the wall as Keenan Kimber pounds the wall off turn number 2. He's going to lock it down and go to pit lane to avoid the caution flag. So we remain under green here at Charlotte. 21 laps to go, about 10 laps shy of our next 2-driver drop-off.
Man, some heroes don't wear capes there. That was a good toe. That was a good toe.
Ken Couch in the chat says, yes, Steve, I screwed up in the Open and then went into the session instead of watching. Ken, It's okay, buddy. I love you no matter what. You're good. Ken Couch, an LSR driver, as well as Justin Johnson, Drew Blaze, of course, Mike Fahey, and the like. Those guys have been involved with us here at Track Limits, formerly HBR TV, for quite some time. We're talking years these guys go back, and they always seem to intermix with some other series that we cover here at Track Limits Network. Glad to see that they're still involved here.
A bunch of OGs.
Speaking of OGs. Oh, Rodney Roberts real loose off of 4. He hangs onto it, but that's going to break his momentum considerably. Opens the door for Bradford. Bradford will take the lead out of the dogleg into turn 1. And look at Bobby Hamilton Jr. now battling for the second spot with Rodney Roberts up the racetrack. He has a big-time run. If Bradford wasn't there, I think he'd have a race lead.
Yeah, that's going to definitely put some heat in that right rear for that 11 car. It's going to be tough to get that out with keeping pace of these guys.
18 laps to go. Again, we dropped drivers again with a caution flag here at lap 35, so we got a little bit of time before we worry about that. But now is the time where we can watch Rodney Roberts. How does that race car handle in traffic? He led a bunch of laps, of course, in the open, 15 to be specific. Can that race car handle being in some dirty air? We're going to find out. Ken Couch says, I suck. No, you don't, Ken. Shut up. Good Lord, man. Your presence...
Bobby Hamilton.
Go ahead.
Bobby Hamilton just ripped it around the fence, right around the top side of Bradford. Made it look easy. It's like Roberts is back, too.
Oh, Bobby, big check up there in the high lane. Had to get out of the throttle. It gives the lead back to David Bradford. Coming down to the stripe, 15 laps to go. About 5 laps shy of dropping 2 more drivers from the low side of the racetrack. So it's Bradford. Rodney Roberts now to the second spot. Bobby Jr. up top of the racetrack. This is kind of what we saw earlier, Zach. Bobby had a lot of speed in the first handful of laps, but now he's starting to fall off again. It's the same situation we saw at the initial start of this race.
It's about the same exact time frame, too. And unfortunately for Bobby, this is kind of where the 11 car and the 13 car start pulling away from the field, too. They just kind of seem to take that tire life and extend it.
We've got Idjit01 in the chat. Says, Ken, you're a great man. And Zach, oh, man. Idjit01, who is that? Why does that seem so familiar? That's not the one from Sweden or wherever it was?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, no, that was Haley.
No.
That was Haley.
Haley. Yeah, Haley. Wow.
Who's
That was
Idjit?
a while ago, wasn't it?
I think Idjit's an LSR person. I think.
Yes. Yeah, she's the master
Yes.
stream handler, man. She does a heck of a job.
13 laps to go. David Bradford lead to Rodney Roberts. Comes around. Big time spin off at turn 4. And he's going to hit the barrels at the entrance to pit road. Oh, no. The 11. Oh, he's going to have to tow to pit lane from that distance. Tough break for Rodney Roberts as Bradford now carries almost a whole second back to Colt Ansley in second. Drew Blaze third. Bobby Hamilton Jr. runs fourth. Rodney Roberts with severe damage. Mechanical black flag for the 11. He tows to pit lane.
Man, you know, it all stems from that first time he got the heat in that right rear. Just that it tells you how hard it is to drive these cars at this pace and just, you know, the razor's edge that you're on from wrecking every single lap.
Bradford with a healthy margin back to second place. Battle on, though, for that P2 position. Colt Ansley in second. Blaze scrapes the wall into turns 3 and 4. 2-3 car lengths back to the 88, and about 4 or 5 back to Bobby Hamilton Jr. The field already getting spread out here. 35 laps go up on the board, expecting the caution here at any moment to drop the 2 lowest drivers in the session.
Caution is out.
There it is, caution flag.
Get a look at your temps to make sure everything looks okay.
Idjit in the chat tells us, yes, sir, I am an LSR member. Terry Wilson goes, what did I tell you? I think referring to David Bradford. And these laps are just clicking by in a hurry, aren't they, Zach?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's just because it's so fun to watch, man. I love it.
It really is a good time. I mean, they set this up, obviously a 15-lap open and then a 50-lap all-star race with some breaks in the middle. This is really how it's supposed to be. But these guys are on full throttle, 100%, 10/10ths every single lap. They're not saving anything because they know when there's caution brake coming. Makes for good racing. So I think that's going to drop. It's hard to tell in the timing tower here, just based on some drivers that entered when they should not have. But I think we're going to lose. Zach, help me out here. I think we're going to lose Roberts and Kimber.
I believe so. I think it was just the two, correct?
Yeah, it was 2 in each segment. So, of course, everybody on pit lane. Rodney Roberts was still mechanical damage to be repaired, so he's just going to drop out of this race. That's a shame. The 11 had a fast race car here tonight. He won the Open. Led some laps here tonight.
Killed it that first stage. Absolutely ripped it.
So Bradford will leave pit lane first. 14.5 on the stop. 4 tires and fuel for the 13 Crown Apple machine. Colt Ansley will roll out next. 14.68 seconds. Drew Blaze 14.53, but Bobby Jr. 14.28. A very fast stop for him. Corey Bigley had an identical pit stop time as Bobby Hamilton Jr. He'll come out 5th.
Now remember, these being open setups, these guys are starting to get a feel for these cars and get an idea of what they need to make this final sprint. They could be throwing adjustments on this thing and make this car faster than it's been all night.
Well, that's the other thing, Zach. These guys have the whole week to practice and prepare for this opportunity here tonight. They know what to expect out of the race cars. It's just a matter of applying it to the actual race session.
Yeah, and this is the best kind of scenario for them, really, because you can practice the exact amount of laps on this setup. You could run it and not take fuel the entire time and just, throw crazy adjustments at it and just see if it'll take it, see if it'll be a better adjustment or worse.
So, Zach, I want to ask you about that, too. Obviously, you run weekly here in the iRacing Official Series with Conti and those guys in the open setup realm. But how much practice do you really do? Once you get a setup in hand, do you jump into a private session? Do you practice the car? Or do you just go right out into the official sessions and see what it's going to deliver for you?
The amount of practice laps that it takes, not only to help build the sets, but just to be able to be competitive with some of the top guys out there, it's insane the amount of laps that these guys put in, hundreds upon hundreds. And the Coke guys are in the thousands. I mean, zero doubt. It's insane how much time that they put into it, and every little adjustment makes a massive difference. It's insane, and I've learned a lot over the past year with these guys, and you can really tell who puts the time in. The guys are just on a different level.
So David Bradford on the one to go is going to opt for the outside lane. Colt Ansley will be to the bottom. Row 2 will be Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Drew Blaze. And it's Corey Bigley and Jeremiah Holt. Justin Johnson will round out the field here as DeFries, Roberts, Kimber, Rogers, Ingram, Wilson, and Couch.
Green flag.
Down on the racetrack. Green flag back in the air.
Boy, really good start for David Bradford. He's going to pull down and kind of own this first line into turn 1.
Timing tower a little off here. Alan DeFries shown as the leader, even though he's out of this race. So David Bradford shown second. He is our race leader as Bobby Jr. jumps to the inside on Drew Blaze.
Bobby can't waste any time here. He's got to clear.
Oh, close quarters battle here with Corey Bigley and Colt Ansley. They make some contact.
Drew Blaze hanging right on that right rear Hamilton.
Man, Drew Blaze just inches off the wall down turn number 2. Bobby Jr. will settle in behind in the 3rd position. It's Bradford, Blaze, Hamilton, Ansley, and now Bigley into the 5th position. If he can get clear Jeremiah Holt, he does off turn number 4.
These guys just have no time. They have to go, and Bradford is up there pulling away.
Bradford out to a half-second advantage over the battle for second. Drew Blaze, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Blaze has the spot now. 7 laps to go. Bobby battling back to the inside through the dogleg for the 2nd position. Into turn number 1, they're side by side. Blaze up the racetrack, trying to find some grip there up at the cushion. Yes, we'll call it a cushion. I don't care if there's no dirt on the racetrack. It doesn't belong out there, but there is some grip to be had at the top side of the racetrack.
Tell you, if Hamilton wants any shot at Bradford, he's got to just slide up in front of Drew off 2, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight, especially with the run that Drew generates off 2, but he's just losing time on the bottom as he moves up to say maybe he may have just line here.
David Bradford comfortably out in front here with 4.5 laps to go. Back to Drew Blaze in 2nd, Bobby Jr. 3rd, Bigley 4th, Colt Ansley is in 5th. Oh, Blaze gets the wall off turn number 4. That's going to break his momentum enough to get Bobby Jr. the spot to 2nd.
Well, you talk about a gift. That was a huge gift.
But that's the question, though, with this 10-lap run to the finish. 4 laps to go right now, 3.5 to be specific. Does Bobby's car, does Bobby's setup hold on for this quote-unquote long run? Now 3 laps to go to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be fine for just a few laps here, but anything more than that, I think you'd really see him fall off. I think the real question here is if that Ozempic machine took any damage. He's looking like he's still got some pace.
Well, that Ozempic machine definitely feeling light out on that racetrack here. 2 laps to go.
More hits to the outside wall like that, though, really affect the bone density of that roll cage.
Corey Bigley working the outside now, trying to take the 3rd spot from Drew Blaze. Now swaps lanes off turn number 2 as Ansley and Holt both get the wall off turn number 2. Bigley to the bottom of the racetrack on Drew Blaze. He'll take the 3rd spot away from Drew Blaze.
Colt with the ball so hard off, too. It looked like he did a wheelie.
Final lap here from Charlotte. 1 more to go here for the All-Star race. David Bradford in command in a healthy margin, 1.5 back to Corey Bigley in P2. Bradford in cruise control. Coming to start finish, checkered flag waves. David Bradford will win the All-Star race, the PSRA Open ARCA Series. 2nd place, Corey Bigley. Colt Ansley will come home in 3rd. Terry Wilson called it. We got AJ Landon demo. It says, told you David didn't show his hand.
Only when it mattered.
Truth. Relatively muted celebration for David Bradford here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're going to step aside here, get our break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the PSRA Open ARCA Series All-Star Race in the books. David Bradford picking up the race win here tonight. Let's get a word here with the driver, the number 13 Crown Royal Apple Machine. David, it's Stephen Zach in the Trek Limits booth. You got us?
Yeah, man.
David, congratulations, man. 6th place to the race win, and man, once you got out in front, drove away from those guys. 1.6 seconds, the margin of victory here tonight. What was the key to success here this evening at Charlotte?
Well, first off, the key to future success is I really got to do something about that profile picture. That is a fucking ugly picture. Anyways, I don't know, man. I tried something a little different for, setups this week. Really, today. I didn't get to work on anything till today. I tried a more of a high rake setup, and because I was trying to get the car to quit dragging so much. Here you fight the bump so much, it's crazy. So I raised the ass end of the car up pretty high. I think I was up over 7 inches in the back, which I'm fine with telling people that now, because really it wasn't that great. Bobby, I think, had the best 10-lap car out there. That's why I chose the top on that last restart. I think if I would have started in that line with him, I'm pretty sure he would have got around me pretty quickly, because I just was not good them first 3 or 4 laps. Really struggled in the first one, even though, I made forward progress. I think everybody was just struggling more than me, but kind of like the format. Didn't give everybody long in the practice to adjust to the racetrack, so we were all just kind of stuck with what we had. I don't know, man. I just kind of held on for as long as I could, and it just happened to be enough.
Seemed like a 10 to 15 lap run as far as your setup was concerned was the way to be here tonight. Is that kind of how you profiled your setup tonight?
Honestly, no, man. I was just, like I said, I was trying something a little different. Never really found anything that was comfortable. I mean, them first 3 or 4 laps, holding the wheel straight, if not to the right through the corners, but, you can't let up in these kind of things, because then you'll get right to the back. Yeah, the 11 had the same setup I had. He was running that right there good with me, right there at the end of that second stage. I gave him a little something, because I knew he didn't have much, so just Toyota helping a Toyota, and he did a lot with it. He transferred into the big race with it. Should have been right there with me. I think he just got a little greedy there on the top side.
Well, with that said, you pick up an all-star victory here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now, next week, we go to Texas Motor Speedway. It's not the same track, obviously, but double dog leg, similar setups. Is that kind of your game plan next week?
I'm gonna be honest, Steve, I'm terrible at that damn racetrack, so I'll probably bring something like this to there with the high rake again. Just that track's so tricky though, man. It's really smooth on one end, not smooth on the other. It's flat on one end, really banked on the other. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that one. I know I gotta come up with something different than this.
Well, David Bradford certainly not going to share any of the secrets for next week at Texas Motor Speedway. David, congratulations on the race win here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the All-Star race. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
Honestly, man, I got to thank all the All-Star drivers. I mean, from what we saw in the Open to the All-Star race, no cautions. I'm sure there was a couple that got taken out here and there, but no cautions on the All-Star race, which is a great thing. It was all the, the user cautions and things like that. So hats off to those guys, and I appreciate everybody that's been watching. My uncle, my dad, my mom, and even my sister watches now. So appreciate all those guys. But like I said, I gotta do something about that profile picture. That thing was wretched.
Well, just send it my way when you're ready, man. David, congratulations on the race win here tonight. All-Star victory in the books. Good luck next week at Texas, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, guys.
David Bradford, your race winner here in the All-Star race in Charlotte. We're going to talk to Corey Bigley next, our runner-up in the All-Star race. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but still a job well done. Nevertheless, Corey Bigley, it's Steve and Zach, Track Limits. You got us?
Yep, I got you.
Corey, congratulations, man. A second-place start in the All-Star race, second-place finish to round this one. I know second place doesn't mean a whole lot in the All-Star race, but walk us through your race. What was the key to success here tonight? Was there anything different that you could have done to run down David Bradford there at the end?
Not really. Our set was kind of a short run car only, and it kind of helped. But I had to adjust on it a lot to get it to be a decent short run car. Because the first run I was decent for about 10 laps, and after lap 10 it was wicked tight and I couldn't get off corner, and then I freed it up more the second run, and then I knew I didn't free it up enough for the third run, and then I knew it took off and I was pretty good, and still was tight. I could have freed it up more. I just didn't want to go over too much.
Well, either way, a second place finish compared to the guys in this field here tonight. A handful of all-stars certainly did a job well done here tonight. You made some adjustments. You didn't want to overdo it. That's a good thing. But we look forward now to Texas Motor Speedway. It's a track that's relatively similar, but as David Bradford has mentioned, there's going to be some issues there. A couple corners are nice and smooth, a couple other corners not so much. How do you prepare for Texas Motor Speedway next week?
We just gotta get the car to be. For me, I just have to, because right there, I know how to drive a tight car. If it's really, really tight, I can't drive. I could drive it, but I have to adjust on it. But if we are I want to be pretty neutral at first, and then see what we got to do for the car. If I can adjust on, because I know how to make the adjustments on these. But because I just got to see what the track does. If it's too free, I know how to adjust on it. But it's just the little stuff we need to work on. But like I said, this car, I'm pretty good on the short run. I can get it going and dig. I know how to be aggressive and dig on it.
All right, Corey. Well, a job well done here tonight in the All-Star race. Congratulations, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I got to thank Stinger Motorsports, because I've been out sick this whole week, and I really couldn't do much of the helping them with setup because I've been out sick. Because was off work Thursday, Friday got a little better, still a little better. I'm still have this cold that's going around, but it's still kicking my butt. But I'm gonna try to hope I can get out of this sickness pretty soon and then get back to 100%. But yeah, and thank you dear guys for putting this on so I can go back and watch it.
All right, Corey. Well, thank you for that. Again, I'm doped up on cold medicine myself. Sorry, man. But congratulations.
No, you're good. It's been going around.
Congrats.
And yeah, I also got to thank Bobby and all them for this league too.
No, it was a good run here tonight. It was a fun one to call tonight. Good luck next week at Texas Motor Speedway. Certainly, thanks for talking to us, and we'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good night.
Corey Bigley, your second place finisher here at the All-Star Race. Next, we'll talk to Colt Ansley, the driver of the number 86 PSRA ARCA Series Bump and Run podcast machine. Pull the driver of that machine up into the broadcast booth and see what he has to say. Colt, Steve, and Zach, the Track Limits booth. You got us?
10-4, man. I got you.
Colt, congratulations, man. A job well done here tonight. 7th place start, 3rd place finish. I know the All-Star race, who cares where you finish? If you don't win, it doesn't make much of a difference, but still a strong run here this evening here at Charlotte. Walk us through your evening here tonight. What could you have done differently, if anything, to pick up a win here in the All-Star race?
Just finding the right adjustments to make. Car was really fast that first segment. It was really, really good the first 15 or so laps, and then it got really tight. Basically, I knew if I could keep my nose clean, I could stay above the cut line for both stages, and so I just kind of ran the first run to see what the car would do, and the second run to kind of see what the track was doing. Made some adjustments to the car in the second run, and actually made the wrong adjustment. I tightened the car up instead of loosened it, and so for the last stop, I had to take that adjustment out of it, and then I just was a little nervous to go the other way, and then yeah, just got jumped on the restart. The gear was so bad on the restarts, everybody just like bogged down. It sounded like little 4-cylinder cars firing off, and so if you didn't get a good roll, you were gonna get jumped. And by the time the car kind of started to come in, the 58 was good, and he and I got into a little match there, but is what it is. Kind of Hail Meloned it into the last corner for the final lap, and cleared myself off the nose of the 88. I didn't think I was going to make it. Not going to lie, I was aiming for the 89 and I missed, but all in all, good night. Fun little change of pace. You know, we build these setups to not build heat, to try to make the tires last as long as they can, and tonight was a little different. We could kind of get up on the wheel. We could come up with crazy ideas for the setup, do unorthodox things to try to make these cars go fast, and I think everybody brought a little bit of that this week.
Well, a job well done either way, with Texas Motor Speedway on the docket next week. A very similar racetrack, at least as far as general layout and length. What setup changes are to be made for you to be successful next week?
Qualifying, getting a qualifying setup, I think is gonna be the most important thing. Since we're never gonna see Circuit of the Americas in this series again, thanks to Zach Millett.
Boo.
Texas is my next closest home track, and I can't stand the place. So good qualifying. If we can get in there and get a good starting spot, I think that's going to be the key. They destroyed 1 and 2, and it's just not even a fun track to drive. Hopefully, it'll be a little more entertaining to watch than it is to drive. And I've won there in the past in a ARCA race, and in a old style ARCA race. So maybe I can get one with a new body.
All right, Colt. Well, we're certainly looking forward to it. Congratulations, P3 here in the All-Star Race, man. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
All the guys over at Outcast, Chris Klein, Jeremiah Holt, Matt Nicholson. He jumped in the spotter stand after he got knocked out of the Open. Man, I don't think he shut up the entire race. He was constantly giving me information, telling me where everybody was. He did a great job up there. Jeremiah for making it, and he had a good run in the All-Star tonight. Mark Cofield, new friend of the team, helped out with this set. We had kind of had a couple things lined out, and we just took it to him, and he tweaked it and helped us out a little bit there. As well as everybody who watches, got a couple friends watching, all the guys in the league for showing up, and all the sponsors for helping the world go around, and you two for being up there in the broadcast booth. Part of the highlight of my week is going back watching the races. So,
all right, Colt. Well, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations on P3 here. Good luck in Texas.
Thanks, man.
Colt Ansley, your third place finisher here in the All-Star Race. That's going to do it for our interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look here at our race results. Already talked to David Bradford, Corey Bigley, Colt Ansley, your top 3. Then it was Drew Blaze in 4th. 5th place went to Bobby Hamilton Jr. Jeremiah Holt was 6th. Justin Johnson comes home P7. Alan DeFries was 8th. Rodney Roberts, a rocket ship earlier tonight, settles for the 9th place. Keenan Kimber was 10th. AJ Rogers 11th. Josh Ingram 12th. Ken Couch, Terry Wilson not classified, as I don't believe they even took the green flag here tonight. But that'll wrap it up for us here tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thanks for tuning in here this evening. Make sure you're here at Track Limits Network for Texas Motor Speedway next week. Here, same time, well, relatively same time. A little bit later in the evening, as we started things earlier here tonight for the All-Star Race. It was about 8:25 or so. Be here 8:45 next week to see all the action here at Track Limits Network and the PSRA ARCA Series. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.